Hi, this is Kristen Clark, and we are here with College Planning Untangled, and we're talking today to Dale Troy. Dale is a health coach, and she has three grown kiddos, well, they're at least out of college, and she's going to talk to us today about the daily habits to crush college stress. And Dale, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to talking to you about this.
Well, and this is near and dear to my heart because, a lot of the work that I do with high school and college students is helping them get that confidence to go to college and feel like, they know why they're there, they have a purpose. And I see so many kids that have just this huge amount of stress and I just hate seeing them suffer through that. So I love that you help kids with this and parents to help their kids. So yeah, I love this topic with you.
Yeah. Well, I named my business Crush College Stress because that's what I saw was happening when my kids were in college. That there was just so much stress. I'm like, what is going on? And what came clear to me like right away is that they're not used to any kind of self-care. They're not used to even thinking about what am I eating, how much sleep am I getting, all those kind of basic things that help you feel less stress, help your body feel good, help you stay focused. So those are the things that I started really trying to teach kids about, to like just think about it. And these are kind of just basic rules that you need to know and to make college easier for you.
Yeah. And I always speak to this too. I think, when we think of going to college, we've got these great romantic, ideas of what college was like for us. And I think a lot of times we forget how hard that first year is, especially with all the transition, all the, meeting new friends, doing all the things you do. And, any way that we can help these kids kind of transition better, I think is important. And, and the list that you have, these are, a lot of them are really simple concepts, right? But it's just getting it in front of these kids so that they, if they are starting to feel stressed, they can level set a little bit, right?
Right, right. I mean, they're just not used to. I mean, when you're living with your parents probably saying, "Oh, you better get to sleep so you get enough, so you can wake up in the morning and feel good," or make sure you eat your vegetables because that's where the nutrition is. But whether they're bringing that to college is question, and most of them aren't. When they get to college, there's so many other things to think about. They feel overwhelmed. Maybe they're just kind of going along with what everybody else is doing, and they're not really thinking about themselves. And how do I feel in my body? What can I be doing to make myself really feel better and feel like really on top of my game kind of thing?
Yeah, well, let's start talking through the 7, and then I'm gonna make sure too to put the list, your download into the chat while you're talking, so
Okay.
that everybody can download this as well, and have it, either to send to their kiddo or to at least bring up once in a while, as they are living their regular day, and when they actually get them on the phone, that they can at least be bringing them up. So, yeah, so what's the first one?
The first one is exercise. If you have an athlete, they're probably used to doing exercise every day, but maybe they were on a team in high school and they're not going to be playing a sport in college. And maybe they start to think, I don't need to work out because I'm not on a team. But it's not all about being on a team. It's about how your body feels, what kind of energy you're getting from working out. It also is a huge stress reducer. Exercise, it creates endorphins naturally in your body, and anybody will tell you that they feel good after they've exercised. You may not want to do it to start with, but you feel really great.
No, and here's something I think that's important, especially for parents that are thinking about, sending their kid off this fall, is I'm a big proponent, Dale, of not having a car that first year.
Hmm.
For that same reason, because then they have to walk to class. They have to actually get out and, talk to people and all that good stuff. So, that way kind of exercise is a little bit built in, at least for some days of the week, right?
Yeah, well, definitely. But, with COVID, unfortunately, that was reduced because a lot of the classes were online and they weren't going from building to building for their classes.
Good point.
They had to be more intentional about, let me at least walk around the campus. And of course, if you're in a colder climate, you might not be inclined to do that. So you might want
Oh, girl, I grew up in Iowa. I went to school in Iowa. I did all the cold weather, but I hear you. It does make a difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, gyms, I mean, all colleges have all sorts of classes that you can participate in. And it's really easy to do exercise, but you need to add it to your schedule. It needs to become a part of your routine. So that's the first one.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, the next one is what you're eating. So I call that healthy food. And again, at home, they're probably not choosing what they eat for dinner. They're eating whatever you've prepared for them as a family or however, whenever they're eating. But in college, they go into a dining hall and sky's the limit. They can eat whatever they want. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's going to say anything. And what are they going to do? So
They're going to eat burgers and pizza and fries. That's what they're going to do.
yeah, that's what all their friends are going to be doing, right?
Yep.
So
And I'll tell you, I'm sorry, I keep jumping in, but this excites me. But at those new dining halls, my gosh, they have everything you can even imagine, and they do have healthy choices.
They absolutely do. Yeah. My best advice is to say, go to the salad bar first. Every college will have a salad bar. Like try to fill at least half your plate with something from the salad bar. So hopefully there'll be some vegetables in there that they'll be willing to eat. So that's usually what I say. And I also say to students when I'm working with them, you want to have as many colors on your plate as possible. So if you look at your plate and it's all white food, that's not a good.
That's not good. That's carb city, right?
That's not a good sign. So try to get as many colors as you can. And I actually sometimes will have kids actually take a picture of their plate, and they start to think about, oh wow, I didn't even think that. Well, yeah, the tomato is red. That's a good thing.
Right. All right. And then
try to make it easy for them, and also just reinforce that if they eat healthier food, their immune system will be stronger. They won't be getting sick. They're just going to feel better. And it's not just because healthy food is healthy food. It's because how it affects you.
Yes. Yeah. And the next one is one that's near and dear to my heart as well.
Yes, drinking water. Most people don't really think about how much water they're drinking. And there is a general rule of thumb. Do you know what that is?
Yep. 8 ounces, 8 times a day, right? 6 ounces, 8 times. It's always 80 for me, whatever 80 is. 80
yeah, that's not my rule of thumb. I mean, what I've read about and know about from my health coach days is you take your body weight and you divide it by 2.
I just told everybody what I weigh then. That's
No, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, but everybody's different. So it really relates to your body. So if you weighed 100 pounds, you divide it by 2, it would be 50, and it's 50 ounces of water a day. And if you tell most people that, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't drink anything like that. So you also have to get into a routine of that. You can't do that overnight.
And do Cokes count in that? Does coffee? See, that's where my head is too, right?
Yeah, no, it's water. It's honestly water. I mean, if you want to flavor your water, okay, but it really needs to be water. That's what keeps your digestion going and everything else. So that's and most kids in college do walk around with a water bottle. So if your kid's still in high school, make sure you have them bring one of those so that they have their water with them all the time.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Sleep. Sleep is crucial, especially for college students, and they're notoriously known for being sleep deprived. And why is that? Because they don't plan well. They often cram for something late at night, staying up late, or maybe they're going to a party, or maybe they didn't do their homework and they have to stay up till 3 a.m. finishing something.
Tell me this, Dale, on the sleep issue, we've always heard that high school students and college students actually do kind of have a shifted clock. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, a lot of school systems are realizing that as kids get older, they really need to be sleeping later into the morning. And so having high schools that start at 7:30 or 8 is not a good idea. So they've been recently switching, making those schools start later. The good thing about college is you get to choose your classes. So hopefully you can choose classes that start maybe at 9:30 or 10, and that will feel better to you just in terms of, your sleep cycle. But still, even if your class is starting at 10, you still need to figure out, how am I going to get 8 hours of sleep? 7 to 9 is ideal. So how am I going to get 8 hours of sleep? You still have to calculate what time you need to get to sleep. So
Right.
you can't just think, okay, my class is until 10. I'll stay up till 3. It won't matter.
Well, and too, these first four that you talked about, being exercise, food, water, and sleep, they all work together. When you're sleeping better, you're eating better, you're drinking, when you're eating better, you're probably sleeping better. There's so much of this that goes along,
Yes.
goes together.
Yeah, it's very holistic. It's all, yeah, you need everything. That's why I called it a checklist. And there is actually a checklist, so you can check off what ones you've done that day, and kind of keep track
Awesome.
which ones you need to really work on more.
All
So
right. Now we're getting into the stuff that's a little bit more that you're going to have to think about, I think, a little bit harder.
yes.
So, yeah.
My next one is learning how to deep breathe or meditate on a regular basis. So many kids just feel like stressed all the time. They say they're stressed, and a lot of it, I think, is because they don't slow down and really be kind of in the moment. They're always thinking about, what do I have to do next? What's on my plate? Where do I have to be? So just that slowing down and really being there at the moment is really crucial, and it just resets your whole nervous system. So I teach slow deep breathing, and I'll tell you what, the way I teach it is usually works pretty well. It's the 5 + 2 = 7 system. So you inhale for 5 counts, you from your diaphragm, like low, more like your stomach area, and then you hold your breath for 2, and then you exhale through your mouth for a count of 7.
Okay. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I don't do this. So this is a nice reminder, even for myself, to just kind of be present and just stop for a second,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you just, yeah, honestly, you can do that for 3 or 4 breaths, and you'll feel like a different person. And I also recommend, if you're not somewhere, if you're somewhere where you can do it, you close your eyes, because that really even brings you more inside your body. But the great thing about deep breathing is you can do it in a classroom if you're feeling anxious. Nobody's even going to know.
I just did it. I just wanted to try it. So I just did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I sometimes will even do it if I'm sitting at a traffic light and I'm feeling tense about something. I mean, you can do it anytime. And if you do it, if it starts to become a pattern, you're just going to feel less stress in your body. So I love that. And
Yeah.
some kids might actually want to do more of a quote meditation, which would be really the same kind of thing, but just sitting quietly for maybe a little bit longer period of time. Even 5 or 10 minutes could be a meditation. It's just the idea of not doing anything, just being. Sit on your bed in your dorm, and with your eyes closed for 5 minutes, and see how much better you feel.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah.
All right. This next one's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is growth mindset. The idea here is that we want to be forward looking. It creates a feeling of being optimistic rather than pessimistic. So if something didn't work out, you don't think, oh, then it's never going to work out. Maybe you were not a good math student in high school, and you go to college and you have to take a math class. So if you go in with the attitude of, I'm terrible at math, I'm never going to be able to do it, it's not going to work. You're not going to be good at math. On the other hand, if you go in with a growth mindset that, okay, math wasn't so good in high school, but I know if I work hard at this and I pay attention, if I go to class, I will be able to figure it out. I know I can do this. That's a growth mindset. So clearly, if you have a growth mindset, the opposite is called fixed mindset, you're going to just have a better experience.
Yeah, just be a happier person. I mean, one of the things that I talk to all of my clients about when they're trying to figure out, pardon me, a career path is, I'm like, just walking in and having these experiences, and now the experiences grow on top of each other, right? It's kind of the same thought. It's like, experience it. What are you going to learn from it? What are you taking away? And by the way, it might spur you on to something that you didn't really even know that you liked or wanted to do, So I agree. It's like, just take in college for all it's worth and have all these really cool experiences, but you got to look at it that way. You're right. It's not about, oh, now I've got to take this class. It's, wow, okay, I get to take this class. Let me see what I learn.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things to take advantage of. And if you go in with that attitude, like, wow, this is exciting to experience, and not like, oh, I could never do that, you'll get much more out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And the last one.
The last one is a really good one. It's gratitude. Science has shown that you can change your brain. Your brain is malleable. And when you express gratitude on a regular basis, you become more grateful, or you're looking for things to be grateful for. So I actually suggest that students start using a journal and journal 3 things that they're grateful for, or that they're happy about, or that went well. Something positive that happened during the day. It doesn't have to be necessarily the word gratitude that they're thinking. It could be, oh, what did I enjoy today? And write down 3 things. And if you do that every day, I mean, it's amazing how your whole mindset can change, how your outlook on what's going on in your life.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be monumental. It could have been, wow, I had a great conversation with this girl down the hallway, and I really enjoyed that. It's simple things. And I think people get caught up in this and feel like it has to be this big monumental thing that happened. And let's face it, most of our days don't have a lot of monumental things going on,
Yes. Yeah, that was a perfect example.
Yeah.
Or even like, I met somebody in my class that I talked to who was sitting next to me. I mean, it could be something as simple as that.
So I did this exercise, Dale. I was listening to a lady just talking about mindset, actually, and she made us do 10 a day, and I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do 10 a day? And it was interesting because one of the things she said is write down 10 things you enjoyed today, and I wrote them all down, and I was like, I get to do these things every day. And I really do enjoy them. And, it kind of did that half glass full where I was like, wow, how lucky am I that I get to do these things I really enjoy all the time.
Right.
And it's walking with a friend. It's, getting to go to a movie with my husband. It was, oh, I got to make this great meal that I hadn't made in a long time. Yeah. So it was not big stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And the other thing is our minds, the way we were built, we tend to look for the negative, or the obstacle. We are trying to protect ourselves all the time. That's just how our mind works. So you have to it really takes effort to change that and to be looking for the good things. So once you start using this as a practice in the journal, you will start to really think about, what are those good things that are happening to me today, and be more grateful for those things.
Absolutely. No, I love it. And then the link to the download is in the comments. So you can definitely download that from Dale's website. And, you kind of reminded me of, there's this study that was done by Gallup and Purdue. So the Gallup organization, world-renowned research firm, and they're near and dear to my heart because they're part of the Clifton Strengths program. But they worked with Purdue, the university, and they talked about the things that you do in college that affect your well-being even into adulthood. And a lot of what you brought up kind of reminded me of this, in that, they brought up getting involved in college. So when you talked about exercise, getting out there and, eating right, sleeping right, all this good stuff, but it was about their whole deal was getting involved. So getting on a rec team, you know, if sorority fraternity is your jam, get that, you know, join something, because the sense of community is kind of a big deal, you
Yes.
know? And
Yep.
especially with COVID, I know that that too is put a little bit of a ripple into this, but, um, you know, how that by doing those things, how it really shapes your entire life is really pretty incredible, you know? So I think starting with these small things and incorporating those into your day and getting a brighter mindset, and you know, I think that that helps set you up for success as well. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I could have, it could have been the top 20 habits, but I was trying to narrow down like the probably the easiest ones to like really start now. And if you're still in high school, start working on these. And these will have a big effect on
Yes.
you in college.
That's awesome. All right. I love it. And you guys, you can go and find out more about what Dale does with students. Her company is Crush College Stress, and she's not only a health coach, but she does have a heart for our high school and college students and helping them transition into college. And so, if you're feeling like you would like to talk to Dale, absolutely reach out to her. And you can get to her and on her contact page on crushcollegestress.com. Love having her. I'm going to obviously, I've loved talking to her about this subject. So she will be on more of our College Planning Untangled lives. So any questions you have, reach out to either of us.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Dale.